was 1933. The mic, reversible, goes back to it. Look at our German now. Fat and sassy, swastika on his armband, cobblestone in hand, ready to advance the cause. Another Jewish store window is broken, the stock will presently be looted, and the state is happy. Hey, nani, nani, Achtung, and well-a-day. This has been a good week for the little man who obeys orders, and prosperity fills his jowls and biceps, for his Führer was appointed Chancellor last Monday, and on Wednesday...
Open the door! Open!
Raids on the homes of leaders of the opposition parties, and on Thursday...
This is what we think of your newspaper. You're forbidden by decree to publish any further editions as of today.
Suppression of the opposition newspapers, and on Sunday...
Attention! An official government decree. Henceforth it shall be deemed a crime against the state, punishable by law, to make any criticisms whatever of Reichschancellor Hitler. Heil Hitler!
All this in the first week they were in the saddle. Every week then after for 12 inbreeding years of 52 weeks each year, week in, week out. The looking around carefully before speaking. The leather heels on the door stoop and the bell ringing insistently at 3 a.m. The stormtrooper, authority dangling from the holster on his hip, smugness fitting him like tights. The new decree even worse than the one published last week. The dream of escape. The pillowful of border where kind people wait just across, just beyond, on the other side, so near they see you and have pity for you. And then the awakening in the room in Dusseldorf.
You're under arrest. Put your clothes on. Come with me.
Violence beyond the fitful dreams of the straitjacketed maniac in the asylum.
Tear out his beard by the roots. If his face comes off with it, all the better.
Arrogance enough to dwarf an Alp.
God has manifested himself not in Jesus Christ, but in Adolf Hitler.
Last week pillage, this week murder, next week burn the books and don't forget the Bible. Fourth week in April, trial of 1,000 priests and nuns. The men who were masterless but free now have a master but no freedom. However, they have discipline and a scapegoat, and one can go far on that. Hunger and poverty and a couple of big contributions from a couple of big industrialists were enough to get them started, and fancied treasons, foreign and domestic, kept them going. Also cruelties to make skin creep on the sweating scalp, the fat and hairy fist against the fragile mouth.
Now spit out your teeth, pretty one, and tell us, who else was in your trade union?
The conscript children. Putrescence in the classroom. Scum injected into the growing arm.
My father last night said to my mother that he hates der Führer.
Good boy. Where do you live, hon?
Last week purge, this week putsch, next week break a treaty, form an axis, give a hitch to Franco. Meanwhile, the small businessman who didn't kick into the party is framed on a trumped-up charge of listening to the British radio and is thrust protesting on a table for the guillotine.
No, I'm innocent. I have no radio. I'm innocent, I tell you. No,
This week and every week, the staggering lie. Nations stripped and tortured like a captive girl, while sidewalk superintendents stand by around the world and look on, fascinated. Even as they watch, of course, death warrants issued to themselves and to their sons. Extra, double feature, Austria and Anschluss, and the corpses of the suicides of gay Vienna are sanitarily disposed of. Darkness rising, pageants and parades, drapes and flags and searchlights in the goose step. Next week, umbrella dance at Munich. Salome bearing the head of John the Czech. And coming soon, too soon, lavish spectacle, millions in the cast, curtain going up, Poland devoured by lightning and locusts in 18 days. Eastward look. The land is bright. You can read an occupational order by the flare of the burning church. 1,600 of the townspeople are locked in there, but their screams have sizzled out, the children's being the first to cease. In the ruddy-complexioned evening of Bydgoszcz, study, if you will, the reflected glow on the face of the little man who obeys orders. He hasn't had as much fun as this since the day he split open the professor's head in the well-planned scuffle on Freubelstrasse.
There's more next time when we rejoin on a note of triumph.